I titled this, You Have to Know How to Help People. And what made me think about this, couple of things. I recently, last week, saw a video that somebody made. She has a pretty big YouTube channel, but for the last few years, well, not few, I'm going to say several because it's been before 2020. It's been before 2020. But she has like a few hundred subscribers, a couple of hundred subscribers. And for the last, since before 2020, she has been displaced. But I remember just before she became displaced, I saw what happened. And I actually saw in the spiritual what was happening. And I saw that she was going to be attacked, attacked spiritually in a very bad way. And by people who understand AI, by people who understand not just energy, but they understand magnetism. People that I'm gonna say it like this: by one of the guys that she collaborated with, and he is a master. I'm pretty sure he's a warlock. But people like that, it's more than just being a warlock. Like, when you have people that's skilled and know a lot of information, you really have to be careful with some people because a lot of people these days are really bad in their heart. And even though it's good to know those kind of people, when they are really bad in their heart and you don't have the knowledge that they have, they can hurt you really bad. And I know that from personal experience. And it doesn't even have to be about somebody you were in a relationship with. It can be another female, like if you're a female and you're friends with a female. And she's like very knowledgeable, very spiritual. She knows a lot. She can teach you a lot. But at the same time, if she's messed up in her heart, you want to stay away from her or him, whoever, because they can mess you up pretty bad if they know how to find places where you're weak and places where you're vulnerable, and they will find out how to attack you. And it's only, yeah, it looks bad, but at the same time, it is an opportunity for you to improve on yourself, because the only reason why this type of stuff works is because there is work that needs to be done internally anyway. I'll just say it like that. So I don't want to make anybody a victim, but I do want to say, ever since I saw that, she came back online and talked about this particular guy who's in the metaphysical type of conscious community, and talked about, ever since their collaboration, things have gone downhill from her. And she had online teachers and stuff, and online in groups and stuff where she would do a lot of metaphysical teaching herself. So she was very knowledgeable. But I think this guy that she collaborated with, she didn't see it coming. And not only that, I think she might have had feelings for him, so that makes it worse. That makes her more vulnerable to his attacks. But I want to say this, she was down on her luck. People gave her money. Fine, I understand that. Sometimes you need money. I'm not ever going to be against when you're in need. It's nothing wrong with accepting help when you're in need, because it's really hard in this kind of world. It's really hard to do it all by yourself. It's really hard to do it all by yourself. And to be honest with you, if you're in a position where it's hard to get help from other people and you have to do it by yourself, that's why some people are extra spiritual. Because now they got to learn how to rely on things that's not so physical for their help. Because when you don't have a lot of physical help around you, you have to learn how to rely on not just the supernatural. It's a word that I heard a guy use on Jordan Maxwell. Is that the supernatural is outside of natural laws. I think it's the paranatural, preternatural, whatever is still within natural laws. So you have to learn how to believe in that, But anyway, let me get back to this person. So this has been going on off and on for a few years. And people, give her stuff because they remember who she was. See, they remember her teachings, her metaphysical teachings, and she changed so many people's lives. So people were always willing, and she's still very gifted. She's still very talented. She's still able to do reading. She's still able to teach. So whatever this person did to her did not stop her ability to teach. It did not mess with her. I say like this, it did not hurt her brain power. Okay. So whatever this person did to her, I'm coming to see it only magnified the demons that she already had. Because when I listened to her teach over the years, I still watched her in 2022, 2023. She was living in Los Angeles and renting a room. And she appeared to be doing well. She was making videos, doing music. Okay, but she was still doing a lot of teaching, a lot of metaphysical teaching. And so I said, whatever this person was doing to her, it didn't hurt her so bad to the point where she lost her gifts. She still had all of her gifts. So I don't think this person took her energy like that to the point where she couldn't use her gifts. She was still very much gifted. I've actually had a one-on-one with her. She was still very much gifted. So that means whatever happened just magnified the demons that were already there that she has to deal with. That's what I realized after this last video that I saw her. And the last video I saw of her was last week. Okay, today is October. What is this today? I'm not keeping up with the dates. Is it October 9th? I think it's October 9th. I'm not keeping up with the dates. Anyway, October 9th, 2025. And so the week before, it is late. Oh, it's October 8th. But it's going to be October 9th when people hear it, though, because I'm on Pacific Standard Time. So for some people, it's October 9th because it's late as I'm recording this. So last week, the week before, I happened to look at one of her videos, and I looked at one of her videos. I think it was Saturday when I looked at her videos, this past Saturday that I looked at her video. And I think that was like the 4th or something, October 4th. I don't know. But I looked at her video, and she was drunk. It was like, I think, a 16-minute video. She was drunk, and she talked about how she spent $8.99 on it was either vodka or tequila. It was one of those light liquors. She said, yes, I used the donation money. I used the money people donated to me to buy vodka. I didn't feel like spending $6.99 on a coffee. I don't feel like getting coffee all the time. I wanted vodka. Okay, vodka, tequila, whichever one. It's a light liquor. It's not a dark liquor. Whichever one. If I have it wrong, it's a light liquor. Okay. She said, I didn't feel, but the way she said it, she didn't say it calm like I'm saying it right now. She was drunk. Okay. And she did a live, and she said, I spent $8.99 on this vodka. I did not feel like spending $6.99 on a coffee. I did not feel like using donation money on a coffee. I wanted liquor. Okay, that's what she said. And she was drunk. And she said, whoever judges her is going to be put to death. She said, whoever judges her is going to be put to death. Well, I'm not going to judge her because I don't have any position. I'm not in a position to judge anybody. But I will say this. That's the reason why I titled this. You have to know how to help people. And constantly giving somebody money, especially when they're showing you what's going on, they're showing you the real underlying struggle that's happening. Sometimes constantly giving them money is not going to be the answer, because now a real problem is being exposed. She exposed her real problem. That could have been a good thing because she might need help. Okay. Somebody saw this before. She made a live before that talking about she has officially hit rock bottom, something like that. I think that was in her title, that she had officially hit rock bottom. And it was like a 4 to 5 minute video. She was leaving Los Angeles, and I think she was going to San Diego. And I rarely read comments, but I felt like looking at the comment section. And somebody in the comment section said that they clearly see that she has a substance abuse problem. They say they clearly see that she has a substance abuse problem. Now, sometimes people can see it. Some people have these type of things going on in their family, or they could have had this substance abuse problem themselves. But for some reason, some people are able to see clearly these kind of things. And when she says she has officially hit rock bottom, I'm a little confused, but at the same time, I understand spiritual warfare, and I understand when something is constantly attacking you, which is your shadow, you have to deal with yourself, because nothing else is really attacking you but your own shadow. It's a lot of stuff that just has to be addressed, and that's why it keeps happening. But at the same time, it comes across as if it's somebody else, okay? And so because I am so I empathize with people going through spiritual warfare, that like, man, whatever's happening to her, it's not going to stop. Like they won't back down, right? But she started talking about how the shelter that she was with wasn't trying to help her and stuff like that. But she had been with them for, I know, at least a year, and she said it was one of the best in the area. And for a few times she was making videos saying how supportive the ladies were of her. I mean, she had times when people got on her nerves. Of course, you're living with a lot of different people. And people off the streets on top of that you don't know where they came from. Okay. And so, yeah, I can see some people getting on your nerves like that. Okay. But at the same time, she talked about how the ladies were very supportive. So all of a sudden, when she said she hit rock bottom, she talked about how that shelter wasn't really trying to help her. And I was a little confused because that's not what she said before. She said it was a very good shelter. One of the best. That's what she said before. So I was a little confused at that. I read the comment section. That one comment out of all the comments, because all the comments like, "Oh, get better," and then you had some people say, "Come on, we want the old person back, right? We want the old person back that used to teach. Bring her back. Snap out of this. Bring this lady back." But one person said that they could clearly see that she has a drug problem. And fast forward to this video this live I saw of her that she made this past Saturday. I forget the title of it, but it has some word Navy in the title. Okay. And she talked about, she was drunk. She talked about how she used the donation money to spend $8.99 on a bottle of vodka because she did not feel like getting coffee. And she was drunk and she was saying it. And then she said, anybody who judge her, you're going to be put to death. But like I said, it's not about judging her. It's about knowing how to help folks. And at that very moment, it made me flash back to when I was like, I got something from Starbucks. And I was I pulled off after I left the drive-through. I pulled in a parking lot. And this lady was coming to me with a buggy full of stuff, and she was coming towards my car. And I just closed the door and rolled up the window, and she stopped in her tracks and just turned the other way because she was like, I can't believe she did that, and turned the other way. And let me tell you something. I was feeling bad, kind of, that I closed the door and rolled up my window. I was starting to feel bad, and all of a sudden I happened to see a sign in front of me saying, giving money to people is not going to help. Here is a number that you can call to help people, to help these people. I clearly saw that same day a sign in front of me that said, you're not helping them by giving them money. Here is the number to call, and we can help them. That's what I saw. And that made me think about what's going on with this young lady. Constantly giving her money at this point is not going to help her fight her demons, because clearly her demons are wanting to take over. and she might have a substance abuse problem. And if you have a substance abuse problem, if you drinking on top of having problems, let me tell you something. I went through something for the last 4 years, and I did not take one sip of alcohol, because if I'm already struggling with my inner demons, the last thing I want to drink is some alcohol that's going to make me focus on it even more. And getting that vodka made her focus on her problems even more. I get that every now and then some people need to drink, but at the same time, some folks just might have a substance abuse problem. And it's not about having a drink every once in a while. It's about they might just have a doggone problem. And giving somebody money constantly is not necessarily going to be the answer. Sometimes when people have a substance abuse problem, they don't like anybody to say it. They don't want anybody to say anything. They feel like they're being judged. I get what that feel like, because it's hard to look at yourself, and it's hard for that mirror to be put up in front of you, but it's going to happen. Even though it's not a fun thing, it's going to happen. And this lady needs a mirror put up in front of her. She has a substance abuse problem. It's been made clear. And what folks need to do is stop sending her money and look for her some kind of programs or something that's going to help her. She needs to be committed into a rehab program. That's where this lady needs to commit herself into a rehab program. So when people have issues, I'm not big on folks working some 9 to 5 and all that stuff. Clearly, she has a big problem that she needs to deal with. She needs to deal with her demons. We all do. But she really clearly needs to deal with it, because it's getting the best of her. And I'm not into somebody working a 9 to 5 when they need to deal with demons. So I would rather her check herself into a rehab program for however long that thing is going to go. And she gets to do nothing but focus on herself. And I think that is the best thing for her than somebody constantly giving her money. I think this lady is a smooth talker. She is from the East Coast. I'm not trying to be funny, but they know how to use their words. They do know how to slick talk. Okay. And so she's very smart. She's very gifted. She does kind of have a high level of consciousness, even though she's going through her issues, but it's the people who are the most spiritual. I read this, somebody said this. It's the people who are the most spiritual who have the most problems, who are under the most attack. So they get the most attack. But she clearly has a substance abuse problem. And I do think that she needs to check herself into some kind of rehab. I don't think she needs to focus on working. I don't think she needs to really focus on, I'm going to be honest with you, because I feel like this for myself. When you're really going through something like that, I don't even feel like you should have to focus on bills. It's probably best to be kind of homeless. And I hate to say that because it's kind of scary. It's best to be in a place where somebody else is taking care of you, where you can just focus on yourself and get yourself well. So I'm not one to go and tell her that she needs to get a job, because I feel like she needs rehab. But a lot of us need rehab. Okay? But she visibly has a substance abuse problem. It's very clear. Okay? She's not managing it. She has a problem. Okay? And when people don't want to face that kind of truth, they feel like they're being judged, and they get very angry. But like I said, that's why I say it's a way that you help people, and you have to know how to help people. And it's not always about them. It's not always about giving them money every time they ask for it, because this lady has been getting people hundreds of dollars donated to her for her to have a place to live for the last 6 years. And she's, like I said, she's heavily gifted, and her gift can make her a lot of money right now. Because even over the last couple of years that I saw her in Los Angeles, she was doing videos. She was doing readings. She would do astrology. And she will still do teachings, and people will be in her group and buy her teachings. Her gifts made her a lot of money still. People still liked her teachings. To be honest with you, I liked her teachings. I'm one of the people who purchased one of her teachings. Okay. Like she's very gifted. So that's why I said whatever this person did to her, this guy that's on YouTube, that's a metaphysical master / warlock, whatever he did to her, it did not take her gifts. So whatever happened, just it activated the demons that are already that were dormant. Whatever he did to her activated the demons that were dormant. That's what it did. Okay, because I don't think he took so much of her energy, because I know what it's like for your energy to be siphoned. I know exactly what that's like. And she had all of her gifts. Like she was in full capacity when it came to doing readings, when it came to teaching. She was very grounded when she was teaching. So she was very organized. So whatever he did to her, she did not lose her gifts. And I'm going to say this right now. I don't want to compare. I hate to compare. I know what it's like when somebody really takes your energy and you cannot function. It's almost like you have autism. It's almost like you just can't be organized. It's almost like you cannot think straight. She was able to think very clearly. She still taught. That let me know that she needs to deal with her. It's not just about somebody. It's not about her getting her energy back. She got some problems. She have some problems. This is not really mostly on him. Whatever happened to her, within 2 years, she was able to figure it out and get out of it. And I almost kind of envy that, because see, this is that type of intelligence and that spirituality where, yeah, she was attacked by AI. She was like gang stalked, but she knew how to stop the signal. She knew how to confuse the signals. So whatever was happening to her, she was able to combat it. She was able to change up her body and her code and just do things with her aura. Like she's very good at what she does. And so I said it to say whatever's happening to her, I think is dealing with heartbreak. Only for me, heartbreak will take you down like that. Somebody breaking your heart will F you up. And I think a lot of what she's going through is heartbreak. Not from the guy that did this to her. It's probably a recent situation. I think it's starting to look like heartbreak. Okay. But anyway, that's it. And I will talk later. Okay.